Hi, my name is Uncle Richard, and we have a guest today on Conversations with Like Minds. I'd like my panel to introduce themselves first. So, my boy, go ahead.
My name is Boyza. It just ends there. Just calm and collected.
Oh, now call me Luwate. And yeah, so reserved.
My name is Phenyo Phakedi and I'm the guest.
Okay, could the guest just give us a brief synopsis of who she is, what is it she does, and where does she go to school?
Okay, my name is Phenyo Phakedi, like I've just said right now. I'm doing my second year, approaching my third year at Salt Lake University. I'm doing BA. My majors are languages and psychology.
Okay, what is it that made you go for psychology and language?
I've always wanted to do psychology. I just don't feel like there's a reason behind, but I don't know. I feel like mental health is just a far-fetched topic. In as much as people do talk about it, they don't understand the reality of mental health as a whole. So I think that's one of the reasons that made me do psychology.
Okay, can you just you see that you transition from going from a normal sect to a secondary situation whereby you're going to school to university, right? I'm just trying to understand what was your psychological state when you were thinking that I'm going from matric year into the dilemmas of just university?
Oh, that's a good one, hey? That's a really good one. Well, essentially, obviously I did not prepare myself to go to... Should I say I was not prepared? Obviously I was not prepared because when you transition from secondary school to university, there's a whole lot of things. Mind you, you're gonna meet new people, you're going to a new environment. It's a whole different setting. Now you should train your mind to adjust to the whole thing. You understand what I'm saying? But in synopsis, it was not easy. It was not. It took me approximately 5 months to adjust. So yeah.
So simply you had no coping mechanism?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm thinking. Sorry. I'm thinking in my mind now. BA, languages, and physics. Physics. I mean psychology. I'm thinking it's a rough combo. It's a rough combo. I'm thinking I don't know it. I don't know how you're dealing with it and everything. Okay. But I feel like it's a rough combo.
It's a rough combo. Yeah. Not really, because in BA there are several majors, right? There's anthropology, there's geography, there's languages, there's psychology, there's sociology, there's what else? What am I forgetting? I don't know. But I just felt like languages and a context subject, it's gonna work because now my focus is gonna be more on psychology than just the language. I mean, I already know English, not English. Literature is not that hard. It's not that difficult. You get what I'm saying? So in terms of studying, my focus is more on psychology. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's why I choose that combo.
So just apart from that, do you just go to school? Are you just a person who wakes up, go to school, eat, sleep?
Yeah, I don't have any hobbies besides grooving.
So you're a groovist?
Not really a groovist, but
you enjoy life?
Yeah, 60% of the time I'm grooving.
Okay, do you groove with
and I do boys also.
Hey,
I take okay. I just take them as a hobby. I don't take them that seriously,
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you groove with certain types of people, or do you just
there's no
friends and whatnot?
There's no a certain caliber that I groove with. I'm just a normal person, so I just groove with normal people.
Okay.
Yeah. But obviously they are the level of the party. Can't just go to groove with boring people. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's a new environment. You don't know most people, how it's open. And now you're this person that has a social group, I believe. You have a social group, right?
What's a social group?
You have people that I think you the people that you're almost always with, that you feel like you connect with, they are your people.
Okay, I get you. And then
How did you get go from a person that just got here and then the person that
okay. I mean, I'm a social butterfly. It was not so hard to like get to know other people. It was not like a difficult thing to do. Like, I'm an extrovert, so it was not so hard to like gel with other people.
So you were never like analyzing, you know what, and now I feel like I want to focus on something solo. I want to focus on people that are gonna align with the things that I'm interested in personally.
Well, essentially, not really, because let me tell you one more thing now. When you're at uni, your first year, you're gonna like have a lot of people around you. You're gonna gain friends, you're gonna lose friends. Like a whole lot of that situation. What we done about at the end of the day, like that's just the reality of things.
Okay, so basically, how do you go about like people with bad habits?
Like what?
Cause obviously in uni, like we have like the res, and then we share bathrooms, kitchens, rooms, and like like when like you are a clean person, like even if like you don't have OCD in cleanness, but then like you are clean. Like messy, like how do you go about it? How do you address it, like without seeming rude to the other person?
Like because it's a group setting, and again they are representatives, like they are reps. Keep on addressing like those situations, but like I'm like you said, it's a habit, so it's not gonna be able for a person to change just like that.
Like when you share, like how do you go about it? Like, bro, I don't like 1 2 3 1 2 3. Can you please stop doing this? How do you go about it?
I get the bad habit.
Exactly.
Like it's like she has a specific habit,
bro. First thing, if like we share a room, first thing when you wake up, you must do your bed, you must open the window, like
small stuff, just like cleanliness,
basic, it's basic stuff.
I mean, guys,
it's a basic etiquette.
Like go university, like how Jaco High School we are university. For the mere fact that you qualify to go to university, or like so doing it, it's not so hard to address, because as a roommate, having another roommate, like as roommates, you guys create like a certain
relationship.
Yeah, a relationship that you guys can talk about certain things. It's not so hard. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm thinking, the way it's about like to socialize a thing. I feel like I can more personal space inside. So like when I go to university, I'm thinking, you know what, my first year I got my little lady, and I'm not so I get comfortable that much, but I feel like I can do the little lady, and then I'll just like socialize a little bit. Cause girl, just that.
At the end of the day, you must get out of that bubble. Because when you go to campus, so you can't just be like, like you have to challenge yourself that this is what I have to do at the end of the day.
In a world of connections, and
at university, that's where you make real connections, at uni. Because after uni, you go into the workspace. So like
I cling on to like the social, like anxiety as like a socially something we're aware of it socially, and then it's like and then I like to cling on to that thing, like it keeps me in my comfort zone.
No, I get it, because I don't have such, guys. Like maybe can have anxiety, I get, but I don't think I do have anxiety. So I can't comment on that. I don't know.
And by the way, like, can I please ask?
Sure.
Is it okay for people to claim to be Rena, I have social anxiety, I have this type of thing, I have depression. Like, do you
People
not
bore me, bipolar,
I have OCD. Like, can't they also like you have to be medically diagnosed? Or, like,
You really need to be clinically diagnosed. You really need to be.
Yes, but sometimes you can actually feel, hey, bruh, it's going south. You know, like, you know, there's a distinction between being diagnosed. When you get there, you're gonna tell the doctor, hey, bruh, I'm going down, I'm here, and that's when he's gonna tell you, hey, bruh, you are dying.
You know what the problem is? People diagnose themselves with Google.
Yeah, but like there are actual
People
symptoms.
diagnose themselves
like
with
actual
Google.
clinically proven symptoms.
there are actually mental illnesses that are like that have similar characteristics. That's the thing. That's the thing. And like when you go
You
to
see schizophrenia and bipolar, they are more like almost the same thing. So you can't diagnose yourself based on Google. Go to a medical test app. No.
Like you keep
I was in a medical aid.
obviously like when you go to the doctor,
Okay, yeah.
you're going to tell him like how you feel. Like more like furthermore like specific questions. So I talk like
That's why like there's a therapist, there's a psychiatrist, and then there's a psychologist. You get what I'm saying?
there's a counselor.
And then there's a counselor. Yeah.
There's huge distinction between like those things. It's like I know personally because I did go to therapy and like psychologist. So when my first session in the time, so anyways, let me not go deep into that one. So he was told like why am I here with him, so as to like get he saw like a psychiatrist and then psychologist, and then they did all those tests and then I cannot disclose that right now. So now I felt like something like I felt like, you know what, a huge paranoia, something is going on with me, like multiple personalities, like before it's and then the environment in a different in a see like okay shapo wena o motho o siameng, it's just that you cling on to the zaore, you want to be pushed when it comes to some things, you overthink your thing, but it's not that you are diagnosed, you are like a victim of something, you are not like experiencing something higher.
And again, this is our overthinker. People pretend to overthink. Sometimes you're not overthinking. Your mind is just all over the place.
Yeah,
it's so not overthinking.
Yeah, and like this thing of depression. Sometimes you're not depressed. You are deeply hurt.
Exactly.
Like you're feeling your emotions.
Maybe you're grieving or something.
Like you're feeling your emotion thoroughly. Like.
How do I know that? How do I know?
How do you get to that point?
How do I get to like differentiate?
Visit the psychologist, visit the counselor, visit the therapist, do something.
Me personally, I feel like a depressed person. Like the feeling
on an experience or something.
No, but honestly, like if like everything is so overwhelming, like even simple tasks, like if like the overwhelming for you. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
But on that, she said that like if you're feeling to that point, go visit a doctor or some. How do you get out? Like, don't you feel that like you're placing yourself in a vulnerable state now? Like,
I know. Yeah, I was about to go to that point. I mean, for some people, it's so hard to open up, but like at the end of the day, you do have to open up or just journal, do something. Don't just stay and say that can I live bipolar, first of all bipolar again.
Bruh, if like you feel like you're deeply hurt, like you're depressed, that's whereby you need to feel those emotions, like vulnerability, like let yourself to be vulnerable, so like you can feel that emotion and move past it. Like you're going to feel it, deal with it and accept, and then move on. So you're post when you're depressed.
But sometimes, you know, like in most males that grew up in the hood, you know, placing themselves in such a vulnerable state. It's something.
Yeah, I think
Something so peculiar.
yeah, it's a men don't cry.
Yeah.
Besides the thing of men don't cry, I cry, dog. I fucking.
You cry, but 90% of your gender does not cry. That's the
But
thing.
claim.
Yeah, I do cry. Ne, I do cry. That's like 90% of my.
Yeah, but they do not cry. They do not cry. Actually, like we are taking from a perspective of like
Indoda must.
yeah.
Indoda must like but pusha like this thing this tag like indoda must. It's
It's a woman.
exactly. So how am I supposed to know how should I act in a social environment whereby like it's full of women? How am I
Again,
supposed to know?
You guys, like, since we're literally dark skinned here, you guys feel like some things are for light skinned gents is giving light skinned.
Did you know that?
But sometimes I
You
just
don't
feel
know
like,
like
it's the environment, you know.
But light skins are babies. You can't show it from the guys.
Well, you have what we're talking about.
Brain fat.
Yeah, Lala guys, it just goes with preference. Yeah, it's like it's really not that deep.
But sometimes I just feel like it's the environment, you know. Like feeling it deeply, you can feel it deeply. But if the environment is not conducive enough for you to actually be vulnerable, you're gonna internalize it either way.
Again, it depends on how you raised your environment, like you say. I mean, environment, it does affect behavior. So.
Phenyo,
a thick skin.
through a uni.
Yo,
Experience
come on.
heartbreak.
Heartbreak, you know, that's so embarrassing to talk about.
Say something. Okay, now topic for another day.
But I did experience heartbreak and I wanted to kill myself. Yeah, I did.
What happened?
It's a lot happened, man. It's a long story and I can't cut it short. Like we were living together somehow. Like it was the same race. So I took my clothes because he was living in a single room. And at some point my roommate was annoying me, and there it was a safe space. So I just went there only to find out that Raborana somehow.
But do you miss the person?
No.
Why?
Yeah, get man.
It's not the thing.
You know one thing about me, I don't know if it's a bad habit. For me to move on, I need to get someone else.
It is a bad habit.
So in that situation, I got someone else.
Was that part of relationship or after the relationship?
I get a relationship or in 0 and 2.
I don't think you guys really like in a relationship. You dictate how the dude acts.
Is it? Kanjan.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, man. I could have like a calm demeanor. Like keyboard.
Yeah.
I'm calm. Anything I'm gonna succeed on, like I'm just a calm person, man.
Yeah.
And then
I realize Yo.
Mari, dari ke batlang go bua ke o fetho. Mostly I'm dealing with it's a thing like the relationship is weighed on me, but the way that you act is gonna put like a certain weight on me, like I need to teach you like these things, and then how you react to those things kind of like dictates or like what am I gonna do the next time you face in a little tatabo. Because if you're not listening as a person, if you're not allowing yourself like okay, I'm gonna take criticism and I'm gonna give criticism, not to hurt but just to like inform this person like we need to move. And like there's a difference between like a relationship and a partnership.
Yeah.
Break it down.
Wait, before he gets to that, in terms of what like somehow we do dictate how niggas act. You know, the person I was dating me, like, he was very calm. Mind you, I'm a talk back, like, you know. So at some point, I feel like breaking point. I've had enough, you know. Like, I can't take it anymore. We are too much. So yeah, I do get it, and it's not something that it's gonna change now. If you can't handle me, then leave me. And it's that simple.
I mean, imagine hearing that from someone that you believe for when you love, you're in love with. How am I supposed to like?
Can I say something else that I saw on TikTok? They say, just because you love me, that does not mean I feel loved by you.
That's way deep.
But otherwise,
Yeah.
and like I feel like this thing, yeah, like the fact that you love me doesn't mean like me I feel loved by you. It goes back to love languages.
Exactly.
You love me by your own language. Me.
But don't you think that like
supposed to learn each other's thingies? I mean, like.
But
That's why we're not talking stage.
But talking stage, I think.
Labo.
Boy, you cannot jump from meeting someone and then instantly you're in a relationship. A relationship builds. It starts
we are bound to
somewhere.
conversate, dog. So we are bound to talk about. I'm not.
You think that, Yamana, you think that you guys are bound to talk. You're gonna talk. She's gonna talk.
Yeah,
That's
sometimes
not,
can
once
go.
you're within something, dog, the whole dynamic changes. In Yamana, it changes instantly. You okay? Because a lot of situation in your moto buang lene la bua talking stage. Like you guys, you're picking my brain, I'm picking your brain,
Okay.
and then after 3 months, we're in a relationship. You start to change in terms of like one tab because you feel like I want you to be vulnerable. And vulnerability is something that scares you to a point where you start putting up walls. And then I start being the one that like I need to cater. No, okay, cancel that one. It's like I'm the one that needs to pull through, do everything and anything. So it gets you to open up without you feeling like, okay, let me just talk to this person. Like I have to urge you, talk to me, do this.
I feel like that's why from like the change from talking stage to a relationship. Maybe that's the reason.
Can I ask a question for you?
Okay.
But there's something that's building up. You may not feel like you're loved just because you love me. It may not be like.
Yeah, sometimes love is not enough.
Love is not enough. I understand that part, but that's where like building a partnership comes in.
Before a relationship. Is that what
Within
you're
a
saying?
relationship.
Kanchan.
Here's the thing. We have a relationship. You talk to me, I talk to you. We go out. If we don't go out, you're doing and you let me into those things. We experienced each other, and then there comes a point where we have an argument. The first argument sets out like how we're gonna deal with arguments afterwards. From there, dog, there needs to be like this thing. I feel like there needs to be this thing. Like, okay, you said this, and I did not like it. How do we move from there? How do you wanna be loved? Tell me, how do you wanna be loved? Why is it not a thing? Like.
Or and that's not it.
Like it's so hard to like to strike strictly like it has something still.
When it comes to problems, as the way like self-awareness, there are certain things that I can address or like I do not like 1 2 3 1 2 3. Like you didn't speak to me the whole day. And the last text yesterday was mine. Today when I'll be in now. 11. Hey.
Honestly, that's not a healthy relationship. Actually, there's a huge difference between a healthy relationship and just a relationship, a common relationship. Most people doesn't like that's what we like to.
No, like can I please say this? Okay, like if we're in a talking stage, bang shela bra. And you must do every single.
You guys don't know.
You must do everything right. Because like Shapang Shalafana Rebile, Mabane Rebile, I was the last person to text Ota the next day, Ota today 11 and no one hey ing. Like are we not building something here? I
feel like Anna Buaka like the love language. Like we need like
we're within that relationship.
Within the relationship. Oh,
within the
it was about that.
I feel like the moment I tell someone, I feel like the moment I tell you what I want and like what type of person I want, I feel like next thing we're in the relationship, you feel like you can't pretend anymore. Fuck this.
So Rene, if I'm a dude and I go, Botore, talk to me. Let's establish something selore. You are able to talk to me. You are able to bring something selore. You feel like I have a problem with this thing, and I'm bringing it to the table. You did not respond to my message last night. Why did you not respond to my message last night? You want to know what it is that happened. You're setting the tone.
In as much as like I'm setting the tone whatsoever, like Nako, my emotions are high. I can like trying to keep you of the week, but at that moment, at that time and when my emotions are high, like I can't hey. Very young.
Now listen to this. They don't busy from 6 in the morning till 11. At that moment, you touch your phone, be like, yo, I'm having a busy day.
Exactly.
Just update chai, like it does, and like letting you like me telling me like you can love me, ne, and like I cannot feel like this thing. You feel like I'm neutral. You feel like sometimes you feel like I have specific love languages until we're not in a love language, and then it's like, oh, I kind of like this one. You know, like when you love someone, like it's not like sometimes it's not like you don't love things. It's just that you don't enjoy like doing those things with that specific someone.
And physical touch love language
It's just that there's a thing about content, dog. There's a thing about content.
It feels love.
No, it's not a thing of love. It's just like it feels comforting in a sense of skin to skin. Like that's the first thing that's the first communication a lot of humans establish with each other. From your mom.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Even like it's stages of attachment. That's the first thing.
Like it sets something off on your brain, dog, to feel like, okay, this is something. And if you've been deprived of that for like a long time, dog, it's
getting too much for the boy. It's getting too much for the boy.
Like sexual intimacy.
Like about both, is there any need? Like how do you let me just rephrase. How do you guys feel about like the 60-day rule whatsoever? 60-day rule.
Honestly, like I'm pro 60-day rule. I'm pro whatever it is that you feel like you need.
Like 16, how do you feel about it? How do you feel about it?
Okay, with me, it depends. Really depends, because sometimes you meet someone who doesn't easily let anyone touch them.
Yeah.
And happy, dude, body count is something that is sacred to some people.
Because they always say it's 3.
No, the thing is, she'll tell you it's 3, but we know you have to multiply it by at least 1. But we keep that mentality at least. Let's go with that 3. Be delusional, nyana. You cover yourself a bit in a bit safe. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that I am for 60-day rule. Body count is something that is very sacred to some people.
Okay.
And when you have sex with someone, you're basically in some people's belief exchanging spirits.
Yeah.
So loma anyone after weeks.
But you know what my chat is now? Like, eventually, like you were still gonna eat me up, bruv.
So you like
Hot one, like, and you can still eat it up and leave. And after that 3 months, like.
so okay.
If I'm really, but like.
So
10%
based on what you said, you gave me an idea. So what's your idea on like the difference between body count yamanyana and body count yamashina? Is it
It's the difference in weight.
You know, I was talking with someone this morning. Like, it's okay for like maybe a man to have 50 bodies, and then that man says he wants to marry a virgin. Like, with 50 bodies. With over 50 bodies, let's just be realistic. I feel like it's unfair on women, in as much as we are not the same. Obviously, we are not the same. I can't behave the way a nigga behaves. Like, that's just an unwritten rule.
Yeah.
But that does not mean now niggas should act the way they want to act. You guys should hoe around the way.
Now I always say this. Kiri, sharp. It's a good thing. You have a good thing going on. Like when now you are favoring, it's okay until you meet a good person.
Yeah.
Like that's your background serious. Sorry. Let me go do background check. After my
But that's a bit contentious towards what Baba.
Yeah.
You cannot want I also, everybody has a past. Maybe there's a point. Like we can.
And we all fucked up in our past.
Now don't fuck up like that. 60 bodies.
No, I'm not saying in terms of that. I'm just saying, like, don't just be focused on my past like that.
Like you have me currently.
Exactly.
Okay, but my opinion on what you said, men and women have different values that they input in the world. Like for a man, for you to be regarded as like a high value man, you need to have money, status, estates. That's when you're regarded as a high value man. For a high value woman, it's not the same.
No, like dignity too. Like as a man, like you have to have dignity.
Dignity doesn't mean
like realistically, you have to have money. Realistically, so
okay.
You have to have money, dog. The way you're dealing with thing.
Let me continue.
Who created this system?
We
fit it. So like you can establish something.
I can change the narrative.
You don't change the narrative.
Yes.
But that's established in this imuna.
It's always.
Let me just. Realistically, so let's say that like I'm a 20-year-old. You are a 21-year-old. Where do I expect you to get money while we are both still?
Exactly. Because like you can't want something you can't do for yourself. And
let me just make like a young scenario. Let's say that I'm a 20-year-old dating a doctor. He goes and buys me like a present. Obviously, he's gonna go all out. It puts you under pressure. I was saying this other day. Sometimes, even if I like you, the fact like there's money and like you have access to that money. And I don't know trauma. I'm coming with a lot. I'm not condoning like people should have traumas. I'm just saying like sharp. Like we're not sharp.
So okay. What I was basically trying to say now is that value yabana is wealth. It's money. It's all that. Value yamusadi is innocent.
Yeah.
It's purity.
Yeah, exactly.
It's youth.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
So for a woman to have a high body count, you're not a high valued woman. Based on the standards that we said.
Thank you for that.
What was that again?
What I'm saying is that men and women are different. Men, for you to be a high valued man, you have to have wealth, status, and all that. For a woman, you have to have innocence. You have to be young.
Purity.
You have to be purity.
Yeah.
So a high body count doesn't go well with these three traits. You have a high body count, you're not innocent.
You're not pure.
You don't have the other one. Forgot that.
Yeah, they are.
You understand? The youth. So that's why the person earlier was saying, if a man has 50 bodies, it's not because it's not what we value.
Exactly.
You
Yeah, I get what
you're a
you're
man.
saying.
It's fine. We're not about to child.
Yeah.
For a body count,
It goes with
Yeah,
the
now
fact
for now
that
it's not child.
now you must provide.
Yeah,
But
basically,
But now it's fair. I get it. If it's that from if
it's like
fair.
that. And then what
do you think?
happened is that now young
It's
women
like that.
go for older men for money. Because
It's
it's
so
a universal rule that women like money. It's in your blood. It's how the way you are. We don't blame me. I don't blame women for
Or
that.
at the chalet.
for no, like for now, like at my age, no, like
I actually for now.
like no, like I'm thinking for now. Currently, if I go for someone older, just believe it's for like
No,
Yeah.
you guys are like
that
I'm not mature, like maturity not yeah.
But that's something that like this is like
You know, again, it goes
something that
hand in hand
science-based
with
with
development. They are like gender.
it's more
your gender. It's more quicker.
That's
yalo na go makata street go magwa khonagala for every day obviously ba fetona o ka bodwe teng
environment.
Yeah, like
It
it
depends on
depends.
your environment. If you've never spent time with yourself, if you kept ignoring the thoughts tse leng gore di tlhagela mo tlhogong ya gago, you're never going to be that person that's like, I'm socially aware, I'm emotionally aware of like where I am. You're always going to respond to what's going on around where now, who said what's the new thing, what's the trending thing. You're not really aware of your environment to a deeper level, to a calm level. Okay, you know what, something happened today, man. Like my boy said something and it felt so abrasive. It felt so abrasive. Like I can feel that, but within like the conversation, I'm not gonna say something. So I'm gonna choose how, like, I'm not gonna comment on this.
Okay.
And then you have that guy Lohore. No, they're gonna do like a bako dira follow up or bako tlaleletsa them. That like I wanna. There's a huge difference between some but mare but by emphasis on that something already. I spend time with myself. That guy he's just been like rolling around like I'm with the boys. The boys are like my thing. The boys, where are we going? What's the weekend? What are we doing?
Cancelling my plans with you, Buffett.
That's where you get like a lot of niggas having money but they don't know how to manage money.
Behind every successful man,
There's a what?
there's a woman behind, baby.
But
But
Barry, let me tell you something.
can I please ask? Can I please ask?
Okay.
Boots.
Okay, can I just say something before I get You know, in the sense of maturity, maturity, it's like a complex thing because you can be mature based on the moral.
Exactly.
You can be mature because you are more internal with yourself. So if we put it in a such a way that like he says that like money, women, she says women, they're capable of good hands with the money. Personally, I genuinely don't think that's a good thing.
Not all
So
women.
personally, I would think that like
good
it should be like a ritual thing, such a way that like men go through a course of maturity, money, then go find a woman that's capable of being allowing a woman into their space with her.
Okay. Now that's a very valid point. What I wanted to say as well was gonna be like my last statement is that as you said, because now niggas our age are immature. That's fair. So I do get that most of us are immature. I don't know about me. I don't want to talk about me. But yes, that's true. You go for older men. Sharp, we get that. But now, as I am building myself right now, it gets to a point where women your age go from older men, and then years go by. Obviously, that older man is gonna leave you.
And look for the one who's younger than you.
Who's younger than you. So now, not per se saying you specifically, but you are now gonna run back to us because now we are
and
and now we are making the bank and remove. We're in our 30s now, and
Like
things are going well.
notification.
For you have a child. We don't know why. We don't know. Things
It
are
all
going
comes
bad.
back full circle.
Yeah. And then now you want me to take you back. How is that fair? So now me, obviously, I'm gonna go to the younger ones because I was never given a chance. So now women,
You were given a chance by the younger ones
no.
from the get-go.
I wanted a
No,
chance from
I'm
you.
20. I'm one of the younger
wanted to
ones.
have you.
Who's younger than me?
Not specific.
Who's younger than me? If I go younger, get wrong.
Very homework.
It's homework.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
basically
No, I
homework.
read Sahele bus next because like
Yeah. I can't go younger. We need to go for our age mates. Our age mates are going for old. So now when I'm in my 30s, I go for younger. Women who are in 30s gonna judge me who go for younger. And
Like, let your younger be reasonable. Let your younger be reasonable.
What's reasonable?
Hey, what's reasonable?
I feel like, personally,
Like the age difference, approximately how many years?
judgment.
that's a real problem.
A decade is like a decade is a lot.
Decades
Yeah,
is the
decade.
same. Oh, when I be like,
A decade is a lot.
before get.
A decade is a lot.
Sure.
but okay, my question is,
Yo.
right now, you're 20. Would you go for someone who's 30? Would you let someone who's 30?
No.
Man, like,
Most of women would give them a chance.
I've had the chance no, because I'm like, if you're like motor experience is a totally born
I feel like 5 years is it's not that bad.
Anyways, why do boys love blondes?
Blondes isn't like what?
Blondes.
Blondes
you know, blondes.
beautiful.
Listen, okay.
Beautiful.
Blondes, white women.
No, blondes. Like blondes, like are people like who are very beautiful, breathtaking,
Oh
but
my
Beauty with no brains.
no
Or
brains.
beauty with no brains. Okay. It's per se like you can't bana, but you think for the next generation.
So like, why do boys love blondes? That's my question.
Just thinking for the next generation. But let me tell you something. You will never marry a blonde.
At the cost
So
of
much-
what? Thinking for kids
I
at the
have
cost
my
of what?
perspective. Share your perspective, and we will share your.
You're thinking for the kids in like
say-
at the cost of what?
No,
Beauty
no,
over the brains.
Oh,
that
like
was a
you will
joke.
never marry a blonde. Let him
We
explain.
like blondes for fun time,
Yeah.
not for forever.
There's like currently this kind of gang. How should I put it? Like there's the analogy, fridge le cooler box. Have you heard of that? Yeah.
Yeah, the cooler box is basically streetwise, free. You can go to everyone,
And a fridge is a
fridge, it's a hot.
and sometimes I believe
Strictly
him
for house use,
cooler box.
bruh. Owner is not gonna pull up at your place and then open the fridge.
Exactly.
This is your space, but hey, the fridge is bruh. It's of sacred.
Respect, yeah.
Sometimes, you know,
Gotta take in a Coke, you know.
Drinking soft drinking.
Men are always gonna be men.
No, here's the
But
thing,
you know, like you see, you she's generalizing it too, man.
The analogy of cheating
No,
too.
I'm not.
Like, how do we go about like
No,
SJ?
I still many perspective. So
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm
Blonde.
sorry. mate.
When I 16, no ring.
No,
Blondes are
I
for
don't
fun
even
type.
remember what I was saying. I was just saying, you know,
You can't marry a blonde.
oh yeah. No, okay, a blonde is someone who is pretty to the eyes. Obviously, how you imagine sometimes I make a motor ring. Majita
looks presentable.
mama, so Mare, you definitely know that you're not gonna marry that person because the internet, the conversations. So that's why men usually get married at an older age.
Yeah.
Mostly because of finances. They want to set their finances first, and then find the one who they can actually build with. Not all na okay, lantse la housewife mare straight out man. Ke motho a re khono always ke di astropairs and lead weave. Rawezanga motho. We need someone who we can talk about the world. We can build each other. We can talk about starting a business together. That's people we need. Unfortunately, those people are not always 10 out of 10. But I mean, man, if you love her, the looks at the end of the day don't matter. Because you're in love.
So looks don't matter for real.
No,
if you love the person,
they don't matter for real. But I mean, there's obviously a limit that you go for, like as
you can compromise
by the world standards. I'm not saying, but by the world standards, a 6 with brains, who's funny, you can marry that person.
Oh yeah.
It's usually rare to find a 10 who's fine. Who's smart, who's doing that. It's sometimes that crazy or bipolar or
bipolar in what context? Bipolar.
Now, me, I'm saying that
what's 6. The definition?
If like you have money, you can make it a good 8, 9 with money.
Hey, niggas investing
for now.
You know, she comes to the table and wants the table to be set.
Money give a guide bracket.
Yeah, let's talk about money.
If you have like, here's the thing. Here's one thing that I heard. If like you need something like 1 point something million, like 1.8 million. No, you need like 1.8 million to retire, like nicely, comfortably. And I'm talking about retiring. Retiring, like maybe it could go for like something like a decade. You need like 1 point something million, 1.16, 1.8.
Like I'm tossing. When are you guys gonna realize or like banana boats and shit? You're not feeling over taxi where no la AT.
Claire.
Like hello,
please.
What's the thing about?
What's the thing?
Why do you think taxi?
What's wrong about
you're already healed. What's wrong about
dating you?
I'm joking, guys. Like if we're still in our early 20s, I can't expect you to have a car unless Mari, we can't go to a picnic unless Bolt. Taxi.
Picnic basket.
I feel like I'm fine without going to dates. And if the person that I'm with,
you're fine with that going to dates, why?
Here's the thing: taxi and I cannot afford Bolt. There's so many things.
Wait, in terms of that, sometimes if you're saying you're taking me out on a date, obviously, like it's a you thing. You focus on the finances. But if we say that we are going on a date, I can pay for the Bolt and you can pay for the food. You get what I'm saying?
And a thing about dates. I was saying to this other person, hey, okay, sharp. Yeah, I said to this person, this lady, I think at 12:26, I work at the dates, and I'm telling him, let's go on a date. What's a date? Like, let's go for dinner. And I'm like, that's not, I feel like you're not being authentic. You're giving me what everyone is thinking, like, this is a perception about girls. Let's go do things that you like, and I'm learning you. And then, like, obviously, like, if we share similarities, we're like, oh, we actually share the same thing. And like, if I oppose, no, me, I actually love this over that. Yeah, but that's how we get to know each other.
I feel like
but that's the case of communication.
Yeah.
No, like, now practically it goes a long way. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I feel like a dinner date is only fine. Boma a year entirely. Okay, not essentially a year. Boma 6 months.
Exactly.
And it should happen like occasionally, like
Personally, I feel like if you're comfortable with doing it, do it. If you guys are in the state
I feel like
of like
a dinner date for a first date is it's a bit steep.
It's too much.
It's
too formal.
We're talking about dates and everything, but like work out concept relationship is the king it's a relationship strong. Other than the date and everything.
It differs from person to person.
My personal life,
like there's always that one
Okay.
Essence,
When
yeah.
That's all. That's common.
That's common because we all people.
obviously. That's common.
I don't know. Shit. Me as a person like with.
Na giti sham.
Okay,
Here's the thing that I heard, ne.
Giti kanna.
okay.
Yeah, your personal experience.
Yeah, let's talk
That
about your last
strengthens the relationship.
Let's talk about your last relationship.
Didn't
Like
twela.
really before last relationship.
Yeah, didn't twela. Didn't talk about twela.
Ntwela.
Huh?
Didn't twela. Didn't twela.
Inge.
Oh.
Obviously, it is intimacy
Okay, yeah. That's
in every angle, if I might say. Intimacy, like not physical intimacy alone.
Emotional intimacy.
Yeah. But that one
Marley comfortability.
contributes a lot.
I feel like
Yeah.
the comfortability it would talk a lot.
But don't get too comfortable. I have a problem
Not
with that.
I don't all
What's
like
too
sex
comfortable?
with it.
Now you're
Oh,
fucking
like
when I'm around.
we are 2 years in the relationship. We had like a opinion with another.
At least.
2 years.
Nah, dog, I've never fought and we've been like
But you think I will
on and off for like 5 years.
Like, let's talk about let's talk we stay in the same room. Let's go there. 2 years, bro. You visit 2 years again. 1 month you go. So when you shy,
You need to keep the mystery.
hey, you know
and
that's.
some-
Unless you go there, it's in
Like, come on, guys. 2 years.
It's
just morals.
something.
And you can't say to me that
home, bruh.
did you just fart? I feel like that's disrespectful.
Guys, not gonna let this guys, this is
I
nature.
justify.
No.
What I do?
No, I can justify this.
I'm honestly not going to justify. Why well I'm going to.
I think we're about
Not gonna problem is if you're
Fighting is
gonna
natural,
ask me
guys.
or did you just fart?
Yeah, guys, I'll tell you. Fighting is very natural. You can't.
And what's about we your in a vernacular language?